welcome on back to Leo Gaming. Today we are back inside of Airport CEO, and obviously, as you guys can tell, the airport seems a bit different than the last time we saw it. At the end of the last episode, we finished off with getting these three segments of the general aviation built up, and I've been working on this save for approximately, 3 hours at this point. I was able to get all these aircraft stands in right here. I was able to get this terminal in, and I was able to do some decoration work along the airport itself. I honestly wanted to go and bring you guys back here because I wanted to go and get your guys' opinion. Should I go and do more of this off-camera work so that way you guys can see what I'm doing, or should I go and do some more on-camera work that way you guys can actually know what it is that I'm actually what's going through my mind as I'm building it? So if you guys do have any comments about that, please let me know down in the comment section. But the general idea that we are going off of with this airport is that we are running with a total of 16 general aviation stands, and then we're running off of 3 commercial stands. So let me go and show you guys here. These 3 stands right here, I've already renamed them so that way we can easily tell that these are the commercial stands. These 3 stands are operating as stands that are having flights coming in, and we only have 2 airlines that we are using. We're using Skyfly and Stripe Air, which I got pretty much most of the flights that I'm able to get in pretty solid like. Most of the flights that have been scheduled though are flights that are repeating, so whenever I place in one flight it's pretty much going to be repeating the next day. But we do have the occasional flight that we have to put on in, like I am doing right now. And there's not much else for me to say on that note. Let's go ahead and actually fill this up a little bit so that way we can get a little bit of income prepped up for us. Now I know some of you guys are going to think, why are you having it set up this way? Well, the main reason I wanted this entire airport set up this way is that I didn't want it to focus primarily on one aspect of the airport. I didn't want it to be pure general aviation, and I didn't want it to be pure commercial air. So I decided to go for a combination of both because that's what we did with the last airport. We just didn't do it correctly. So take it as you may, I guess. Then on that note, we did go ahead and, let's see, we went ahead, added in this small staff building right here. This is just for the contractors and some of the other, we have like the janitors and service technicians over here because they are kind of like over near the construction area. So it kind of just makes sense to me. Over here we have 2 different staff rooms. This one's purely for security. This one is for all of our airport staffs, executives, and ramp agents that we got. And as far as the numbers are concerned, as far as staff, that is, we have quite a bit of staff members. We have a total of 26 staff that I had to hire on, and that is not including contractors. Contractors and executives are not included. Well, no, executives are included in that, but contractors are not. We have 26 total staff members, which is absolutely crazy. I honestly think that's a bit too much, but to each their own, I suppose. Now, I know that there was an issue back in the previous airport that I had where if we didn't have, we had like one giant staff room that was inside of a secured area, okay? And that would be assigned to all of the staff members, and they would have to go through the security gate. The problem with that is that the ramp agents are not technically permitted to go within a secured area. That it doesn't make sense to me, but for some reason that's how the game had it functioning at that very point in time. Also, you guys can possibly see that there's a number right here. I have no clue what that's from, and I hope that it goes away shortly. But anyway, what else do I want to go and work on? I want to get like a good income coming in. Right now we got about 3,500 as far as income is concerned, and I think I want to build that up a bit more. I think I want to build it up so that way we can build it up on this side. We will be using this and having it come down this way. I'm not too sure if I want to put any gates over here. I'm gonna have to put some service roads over here for sure if I don't put any gates, but I don't think I want to put gates in here because it's gonna make things a bit difficult on my part. Yeah, it's not gonna be a good idea to put them right there, so I think I'll just have them along this side. In fact, where would I have to have them be placed? Just so that way we can be sure. Have to be placed right there. That seems a bit too close for my liking. If I were to place it over here, I can have one be right there. 2, 3, and possibly a fourth. I don't really like that though. I don't really like that at all. We are in good satisfaction right now. The only thing that is not in good satisfaction is general aviation. I'm guessing it's just that they don't like the ramp agent service rounds enable that. Avgas 100 refueling will enable that. Now, these vehicles should be used eventually. I had them sitting there just collecting dust pretty much. Yeah, you're gonna go refuel that vehicle. Okay. Now, are any of our flights over here, are they going to be registered? Yeah, service round in progress. Now, I think the main cause that we did have another cause with service ramp agents is what I'm trying to say. In the last airport, we tried to do it so that way the ramp agents were sharing the same staff room as the security, the administration, the airport staff, and everyone else. But because of the game's algorithm, I'm guessing it just messed up their pathing and didn't allow them to actually use the way from the actual staff room area to get to the service rounds. So you actually have to have a separate staff room for the front half, like the airport staff, the ramp agents themselves, and like the executives. So that's what I did here in this case. So that way they can just go straight through the security checkpoint and get to the service car stop. Now I have two different road checkpoints here. This is the one that I added in the last episode. This is one that I added in right before this episode. But I wanted to have two just so that way in case we get new vehicles, they can use this one. In case we get, in case we get fuel deliveries, they'll use this one. But in case we have to use this upper area over here for anything, this checkpoint will cater to that. And that's what my primary goal is on that case. So, next up, I'm not really too sure why, but it seems like the game has been capping out on having no more than 5 actual general aviation flights, which that's really startling me because I'm used to seeing anywhere from 8, 9, upwards of 12 different aviation flights all landed at the same time. I'm not too sure if that's a bug or if it's on purpose, but I think that's just due to the capacity of our airport and how much we're currently running at that time. Another thing that I want to go and worry about is if we go into procurements, I want to get the baggage handling system started, and I also want to get going on the night flights. The night flights is going to be the cheaper one of the two to get started for sure, but the baggage handling is the one that I think will be most beneficial for our airport. So I will go in forward time here just a little bit. In fact, let's actually do that through the operations panel. It's going to forward it over to... Oh, it forwarded it to 2 o'clock because these people are coming into the airport. How lovely. We have passengers in the airport. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So we have 3 different terminals right here, and they're all being serviced. So we don't need to worry about that too much. We have a total of, is that 11? Yeah, 11 flights coming in today. We're not going to have to be worrying about taxes since we got the CFO. I also had to unlock and get the procurement director so that way we can get the upgrades available for the conveyor belt system and the night flights. But because the conveyor belt system also requires a secondary executive, which is the operations manager or chief operations officer, we definitely need to get a COO as well. So we have a total of 4 staff members and I think a CFO, HR director, COO, and a procurement director. I think that's all. Let me check the staff. Executives. So yeah, we have a CFO, COO, HR director, and procurement director. By far, the COO is the most expensive. I really wish they weren't this expensive. But nonetheless, that's what we got. The only positions that we do not have filled in at the moment is the CIO and the strategy director. I don't think I necessarily want to focus on the strategy director or the CIO yet, and not until we get like a good regular cash flow, because right now we're in a minus during the nighttime. So once when we get the nighttime flights researched and get that developed, we can go and start getting flights coming in pretty much 24 hours a day. So that way we're always getting some sort of money coming in and not having to go into the negative during the nighttime. But it happens, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. In fact, in about 2 hours or so, we should be seeing the first flight arrive to gate A2. Now I named these gates A1 through A3 just because I want to keep this naming convention so that way it starts from this aircraft gate and works its way around in a clockwise fashion. So we have like, if we eventually have to do it, but get a aircraft gate somewhere over here, another one here, maybe even a medium one down this way, maybe even actually 2 instead. But that's a little ways down the line. That's yeah, that's actually our flight for landing here at A2. So let's see. Has 8 people deboarding, 10 people boarding today. So another thing that I figured out is sometimes the actual aircraft has scheduled times. Like for instance, when we look at the flight planner, it designates a total of 3 hours worth of time for the actual flight to land, get service rounds, get fuel if needed, and then also board up and leave. It spreads that out across that entire 3-hour period, and when you only have a very limited amount of services, that actually does help out quite a lot. To the point where it's going to be very intricate to find out what we're going to be doing in that case, because there's not really anything else that we would have to do at that point. Now, I definitely didn't want to turn these into remote stops because I didn't want to have it so that way we had to depend on the bus, or the shuttle bus itself, to go ahead and transport passengers to these actual stands. Because I think that there was a bug with that, to the point where if the shuttle bus was designated to assist with a stand at a different point when it needed to go assist a stand that is needing completion of deboarding and of boarding itself, I think that necessarily does impact the actual way the game is going to process it. So I didn't want to make these remote stops. Plus it also makes it so that way we don't have to worry about having 1 or 2 extra vehicles that we're not going to use pretty much. And once again, we have 3 vehicles this early in the morning. Most likely though, we will have more of these aircrafts coming in throughout the next couple of few minutes. And also, your light looks to be like you only have 1 of them on. That's odd. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna question it. Another general aviation. So yeah, we have plenty of general aviation capacity. It's just that the matter of getting that general aviation to come in to our actual airport itself. One thing that I think would help us, because I know that this ATC tower is not going to be too helpful in terms of getting us those. It's not going to be too helpful in getting us those flights that we need to go and keep us profitable. So we will eventually have to upgrade to the large ATC tower, which is right here. It's a bit bigger. It takes up that entire space right there. In fact, I would place it somewhere over here, but I don't have the funds for it at the moment. In fact, how much is that building? 250k. Yeah, that definitely does. That we don't definitely have the income for that. Not at all. We are breaking even pretty much. We are breaking even at the moment. If we can at least make 60,000 today, I can go and let you guys off, and I will be able to continue building a little bit more. Of course, off camera, that is. But if you guys do have any comments regarding like the whole me being the one that's going to be showing you guys like things that I build while I'm off camera, if you guys have any comments about that, please let me know, because it does give me that little bit of interaction with you guys, letting me find out like, do you guys like this, or should I go ahead and redevelop my strategy with this a bit. But anyway, I am gonna go ahead and wait here for just another minute or two, because it looks like we are gonna reach 60k as long as we can come back out of the negative as far as our income is concerned. It looks like we are. Okay. Yep, 2,000 right there. And yes, we have reached 60k. So I am going to go and leave this part off here, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys have liked this video, or if you're new to the channel, please do go and hit that like button. I totally messed up on my outro. Anyway, comment, like, subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later.